Picture this, November 1st, 1944, alone. Silver aircraft soars through the skies over Tokyo. It's a Boeing B-29 Superfortress, the first to ever appear over the Japanese mainland. Down below, Imperial Army officers gaze up, and many of them scoff. They mock its massive size, calling it Bison or Mr. B to them. This giant looked clumsy, slow, and an easy target for their nimble fighters. They believed their air defenses, honed through years of war in China and the Pacific, were more than a match for this American behemoth. Little did they know, this lone reconnaissance flight was the chilling prelude to a storm of fire that would consume their nation. The B-29 wasn't just another bomber. It was a technological marvel, the most expensive weapons project of World War II. Even more so than the Manhattan Project that developed the atomic bomb. This four-engine giant could fly higher and faster than almost any Japanese fighter, carrying a payload that dwarfed anything seen before. It was pressurized, allowing its crew to fly in relative comfort at altitudes above 30,000 feet, far beyond the effective range of Japanese anti-aircraft guns. Its wings, spanning an incredible 141 feet, were designed for long-range missions, capable of flying from newly captured bases in the Mariana Islands all the way to the heart of Japan and back. Early B-29 missions, starting in mid-1944, were high-altitude, daylight precision bombing raids. The targets were industrial sites, like the Nakajima Aircraft Company's engine factory. But these missions were largely ineffective. The jet stream, a powerful river of wind high in the atmosphere, threw the bombs off course. Cloud cover often obscured targets, and mechanical issues plagued the new, complex aircraft. For a time, it seemed the Japanese officers' initial mockery was justified. The B-29 was proving to be a costly failure. American commanders were frustrated. The pressure to cripple Japan's war machine was immense, and their superweapon wasn't delivering. Then, everything changed. A new commander arrived in the Marianas in January 1945. His name was General Curtis LeMay. LeMay was a ruthless, brilliant, and pragmatic strategist. He looked at the failed high-altitude strategy and saw the futility of it. He knew that precision bombing wasn't working, so he devised a new, terrifyingly audacious plan. He decided to abandon the high-altitude daylight approach entirely. LeMay's new strategy was radical and brutal. He ordered his B-29s to fly low at night. Instead of conventional high-explosive bombs, they would carry massive payloads of incendiary clusters, specifically designed to burn down Japan's densely packed cities, which were largely constructed of wood and paper. To maximize the payload and speed, LeMay ordered most of the defensive guns, ammunition, and even some crew members removed from the planes. It was a huge gamble. Flying low and slow at night would make the bombers vulnerable to whatever night fighters and anti-aircraft guns the Japanese could muster. Many of LeMay's own crews thought it was a suicide mission. They were trained for high-altitude combat, not for skimming rooftops in the dark. The target for the first major firebombing raid was Tokyo. On the night of March 9, 1945, the air raid sirens began to wail across the city. But this was different. Over 300 B-29s appeared in the skies, not at 30,000 feet, but as low as 5,000 feet. Then, the bombs began to fall. Not the familiar explosions of dynamite, but canisters that burst open, scattering thousands of small, jelly-like gasoline bombs called M69s. They hit the wooden homes and shops, and within minutes, small fires erupted everywhere. Fueled by a strong wind, these small fires merged into a monstrous firestorm. The heat was so intense, it created its own weather system, with hurricane-force winds sucking everything into the inferno. The canals and rivers, which people thought were safe havens, boiled. Asphalt in the streets melted. The air itself caught fire. For the people on the ground, it was a vision of hell. 16 square miles of Tokyo, the heart of the city, were completely incinerated in a single night. The morning sun rose on a scene of utter devastation. The once bustling metropolis was now a smoldering, flat, black desert of ash and charred rubble. The mockery of Mr. B had turned into screams of terror. The Japanese high command was stunned into disbelief. Their air defenses were completely helpless. Their night fighters couldn't find the bombers in the darkness, and their anti-aircraft guns were designed for high-altitude targets, not for planes flying just above the rooftops. The raid, known as Operation Meeting House, was the single most destructive air raid in human history, even more so than the atomic bombings of Hiroshima or Nagasaki in terms of immediate casualties. In just a few hours, an estimated 100,000 people were killed, and over 1 million were left homeless. This was just the beginning. LeMay's strategy was a horrifying success. What happened to Tokyo was replicated across Japan. Nagoya, Osaka, Kobe, and more than 60 other Japanese cities were systematically burned to the ground. The B-29s came night after night, the silver planes now painted black on their undersides for camouflage. The sky over Japan no longer belonged to the empire. It belonged to the superfortress. Japan's industrial capacity was shattered. The firebombing raids destroyed factories, transportation networks, and the homes of the workers who ran them. The nation's ability to wage war was dissolving in flames. The initial arrogance of the Japanese commanders had given way to a grim reality. They had vastly underestimated American industrial power and technological prowess. The B-29 was not the clumsy giant they had laughed at. It was the instrument of their nation's destruction. The superfortress, once a subject of ridicule, became a symbol of overwhelming and inescapable power. It proved that in modern warfare, underestimating your enemy's technology could lead to catastrophic consequences. The fires that lit up Tokyo like daylight were a brutal lesson, forever changing the nature of air power and marking one of the darkest chapters of the war. Thanks for watching. If you found this story compelling, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into military history. Let us know in the comments what other historical events you'd like to see covered. See you in the next one.